Hey guys, what's going on? Johnny the Supplement Advisor. So guys, obviously, like over the years of doing supplement reviews and stuff, the main question I've been getting time and time again is how to stack your pre-workout supplementation, what is the best stack to follow, etc, etc. So guys, obviously I'm going to talk about one of my favorite brands ever, which is Dark Labs, and obviously Adrenaline is their kind of like euphoric fat burning pre-workout pill. But anyways, that aside, so let me discuss to you what to look for when you are stacking a pre-workout and why would you stack a pre-workout. Now, more often than not, you will really find a product that kind of meets your demands every single like aspect, from pump, focus, energy. More often than not, some pre-workouts do need a bit of a boost, but on other occasions it also could be down to stimulant intake as well. So for example, let's say, which is facts, today I had energy drinking coffee. So that kind of leads me out of the aspect or out of the element of actually taking a full-on pre-workout. Now, of course I can, but to me, obviously, I'm feeling a bit, tired, a bit edgy, etc., etc. Right. So what I would do is, for example, I would stack something like your Crack Reloaded, which is obviously a hard-hitting pre-workout. Now, guys, also good to remember, of course, is that there are different types of pre-workouts. Now, you're obviously going to get something hard-hitting without any foreign, stimulants inside. Like, for example, this doesn't have any DMAA or DMHA, which are banned more often than not. It literally is banned, alright, let's just say that. And then you get something like your Daily Driver, which has no banned substance, just purely based on caffeine, which will be something like your Sledgehammer. Now, obviously, on a daily, I would say something like your Sledgehammer, something like your Spellbound, something like your Vasa Junkie would be good as a daily driver. Obviously, caffeine intake is down to the individual and what they like and what they prefer, but I always found that for me, I need something over 300 milligrams. Now, that's not to everyone's liking, of course, but we're all different, we're all individual, and that's what people have to understand, is that there's different stresses in life, there's different scenarios in life. Some days you feel more tired than other days, some days you go through more stress than other days. That's just the way it is. But also, another important thing to remember when it comes to hard-hitting pre-workouts is that I would not suggest you using them every single day, just because more often than not you build a very quick tolerance to hard-hitting pre-workouts, and obviously they don't work as good as they do. For example, if you use this twice a week, it will work perfectly those 2 times you use in a week. But if you're using it 4 or 5 times a week, it won't hit as hard, it won't be as strong. So that's why I prefer to use something like this seldom. I'll use this obviously on days where I'm having a big workout. It could be chest, it could be back, it could be legs. Then I'll use something like this. But for example, today is arms. So what I do is I won't take a full serving of this. I will use half a serving. And even in half a serving, you do get a lot of stimulation in this. You do get a lot of nootropics in this as well, and also performance benefits too. But when it comes to stacking this, the pump side of things can actually be a bit better. So that's why I use undoubtedly the best stimulant-free pre-workout in South Africa, which is definitely going to be your Volve Neuro Pump Serum 3. Now, the thing I like about this, 0 stimulants, does have some patent ingredients that are really cool, and I enjoy them, like your Vasa 6 and Mento Pump as well. And it also has some Beat Pump, betaine nitrate as well, just a whole bunch of goodness, even your betaine anhydrous, and it's got some focus elements too, being your alpha GPC and also your KSM66, which obviously helps with reducing cortisol and helps in general with focus. So that's the way I kind of conjure things up, is that you don't have to use a full serving of a hardcore product. You can kind of make it a more versatile daily driver if you do half the dosage. So that's why I actually like to do it more often than not with the Crack Reloaded, because even at half a serving, you do get a lot of goodness, you do get a lot of stimulation, but then again, you won't get as much stimulation, you won't get as much side effects when it comes to the stimulant aspect, which can be jitters, anxiety, sleeplessness, etc, etc. Another thing about pre-workouts in general is that I don't really recommend using a highly powered pre-workout like after 6 o'clock, just because it can interfere with your sleeping pattern, and it can obviously leave you feeling tired, even more tired and anxious but obviously without falling asleep, because you will be stimulated and it will obviously elevate your heart rate, which you obviously don't want. But then again, some guys can take pre-workouts any time of the day, be fine. I guess it also depends on how hard you actually train, because I found the harder I train, the easier I sleep. That's just the way it is. Or best scenario would be to use a stimulant-free pre-workout past 6 o'clock, just because it won't have any interference with your sleep, and also you won't feel jittery or anxious, and you do get great pumps. Well, with this, great pumps, great focus, clean energy, crisp energy. You don't have to worry about any jitters, heart palpitations, none of that stuff. So that's why it's always good to have an array of pre-workouts, not just rely on one. Like, as much as I love Dark Labs, I won't be using the products every single day, just because, you know, I know that if I use it every single day, I'll build a tolerance to it and it won't work as effectively as it did, just because that's the way my body rolls. And yeah, it is what it is, end of the day. But more often than not, if you're looking for a hardcore pre-workout and hardcore pre-workouts in general, Dark Labs always does a job, in my opinion, 100% of the time. But if you're looking for a daily driver, there are a ton of daily drivers to choose from. But then again, you can make Crack Reloaded a daily driver. That's not a problem, as long as you have a pump pre-workout or a stimulant-free pre-workout. Obviously, difference between a pure pump stimulant-free pre-workout and a stimulant-free pre-workout would be that your stimulant-free pre-workout would have nootropics, would have focus aids and enhancements, versus a pure pump, which necessarily doesn't have to have any kind of focus aids in it. So that's a difference. Like, for example, a pure pump product would be a raw, like glycoside, or could be something like your Ghost Pump, which is just pure pumps on pumps, obviously for self-volumization and vasodilation. And then again, you can look at something like this right here, this Evolve Neuro Pump again, for a complete stimulant-free pre-workout, especially in South Africa. But I mean, there are a ton of great stimulant-free pre-workouts out there. Of course, Peak Performance, Nuclear Pump is amazing. You also get your 10X pump, which is absolutely phenomenal. So there's a lot of options to choose from. In the day, it's all based to personal preference, and that's the thing, guys, we're all different. I'm not trying to promote anything else than the truth, and that's just what's worked for me over 15 years of training, bodybuilding, etc., and it continues to keep me going, believe it or not, year after year, and things just progressively keep getting better for me. But as I said, there's a whole bunch of good daily drivers out there. Good ones being your Sledgehammer, your Spellbound, Vaso Junkie. Geez, there's just so many. There's just a lot of them. And then obviously you get your more hardcore kind of like pre-workouts, that being your Crack Reloaded, Crack Gold, Flame, Hero Lean, Defiant Unleashed, MVP 2.0. There's just so many, and obviously again, when it comes to these products, it's all about preference. I don't promote a particular brand, and if I do, like for example Dark Labs, it's just because genuinely I love them, because of them making amazing products that actually work time and time again. Of course, they're of a more hardcore nature, but as I said, it all falls down to personal preference end of the day. Hate it, love it, that's just the way it is. And yeah, guys, I hope that answered like a few questions out there. End of the day, stackability all comes down to what you actually have on hand and what you're willing to spend. Obviously, if you're in a tight budget, it will be a bit tough, but you can make it happen. For example, if you halve the serving of Crack Reloaded, you do get, I think, 40 full servings, so 40 workouts. But then again, you will go through a complete container of, for example, your Neuro Pump within 20 days. So, you kind of have to weigh it up, and then from there on, just take it how it is. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. And again, if you want to save on some Dark Lab products, use my discount code right here, because guys, if you haven't used it, legitimately their stuff is, to me, the best when it comes to pre-workouts and the hardcore products, and just everything in between. They're very, very good. But then again, I won't put Evolve here if I didn't believe in their stuff too. Their stuff was absolutely phenomenal. If you're in South Africa, you guys got to try it. Supplement World is running a special right now on your Serum Pump, 299 Rand. If you do recommend getting a few types of that, because I know it's going to go real fast, so don't miss out on that, guys. But anyways, again, thanks for watching. And if you found this useful and you found this interesting, cool and good, please like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more. Cheers.